Alright fellas, so my name is James IZ, and today I have the strange video that I'm gonna sit here and watch today. So I was scrolling through YouTube last night, and I was scrolling on YouTube, and I just said, yeah, so I was scrolling on YouTube last night, and this was recommended to me. This video right here from a channel called Black's Scary Stories. And then, okay, so I watched the first couple seconds of it and then realized that everything is AI generated, so this is gonna be a real doozy here. And even still, it's like, I've been driving for DoorDash for years now, and it's like, I can't really think of a time of where I've ever had a creepy or like a scary story to tell. Like, the only things that I could truly say, they're not really even stories, it's just like really strange things that happen. Yeah, so like the first time I was delivering this food, like some food to like this chick, right? And she lived in like a pretty big ass house, so like she lived with like her parents and everything, right? And she was texting me like on the app and shit. She was flirting with me and everything. She said that I was fine, right? You know, obviously, right? And yeah, so she likes muscles, right? And she gave me her phone number and everything, and then I was texting her, and this all happened within like a span of 15 minutes. So she wants me to come back over to her place and her, and like she also told me up front that like she was on her that it was her time of the month, right? And usually whenever girls say that, it's like, it's like they tell you that to use it like as an excuse to not have sex with them, but no, she wasn't using it as an excuse. She was warning me. She still wanted me to have sex with her when it was still her time of the month. No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't have sex with her, but I did get my slooped on, and it was amazing. She was an expert at it. She is 100% a whore, but she was an expert at sucking some let me just tell you straight up, right? Now, the second encounter that was very weird is that I think I was about to get robbed, but I go down to like this Pizza Hut, right? And I'm picking up this order of wings and shit, right? As like I'm walking up to the store, I get like a phone call from this random ass number that's, I just assumed that it was like the person that I was delivering to, and I can barely hear them like on the phone. Like, it was all muffled and everything. I can barely make out what they're even saying like on the phone, and then they just hung up on me randomly, right? So I didn't really think much of it. So I go into the Pizza Hut to pick up the order, and then like the people there told me that they've already gotten this order 5 times already to the same house address. So I was a little bit spooked out there, and like they told me to be careful like and everything, right? So I was a little bit spooked out, right? So I pull up to the house and everything, and nobody was answering the door, and there were people home, but when I got there, I started texting them, right? For some reason they weren't even answering like the text messages and everything, right? They didn't even respond to it. They just called me on the phone, right? Again, I can barely make out on what he's hearing, but like he told me to pull up to a different address than what he actually gave to the DoorDash, right? So I was a bit spooked out by that, so I put in the house address on like my GPS and shit, right? And it was 30 minutes away in like East Baltimore. That's the end of my story there, because I just took that food and I did not deliver that shit. No, absolutely not. Anyways, fellas, so let's get to the point of so let's get to the actual, good part of the video here, besides me trying to have a little story time with you.
Back in 2018, I was door dashing to earn some extra money. I usually stick to the breakfast and lunch rushes, because that's when the orders come in hot and heavy.
Yep.
So towards the end of my shift, I snagged an order that wasn't too far from the restaurant itself. While I was waiting for the food, the customer hit me up asking for extra ketchup packets for his fries.
Okay, all right. Like, what is up with this channel name, Black's Scary Stories? What do you mean by that? Black Scary Stories. Anyways, and why is this like a screenshot of like a Chipotle order?
No biggie, right? I passed on the message to the restaurant, grabbed the food, and hit the road. Now I'm back in my car, just chilling for a second, trying to figure out the directions to this guy's place. That's when I see I got a message from him, all in caps, asking where I am, which makes 0 sense because I just picked up his food. Anyway. And
well, you can also see it on the app that's right in front of your face, you dumbass.
I start driving, and a few moments later, I get another message from him. By the time I safely check it, I see he's outside on his porch, arms crossed, looking all impatient.
Oh shit, actually this just reminded me of a weird thing that happened. So I was delivering some food to this gated community that I have never been before, and I was very confused on how to get in. And then like the dude called me on the phone, and he was actually pissed off at me, and like, you know, he was getting like an attitude and everything because I was getting confused like at the gate. So when I got past the gate and I delivered to his house, it's like the middle of August and it's hot as right? So I'm completely shirtless, right? That dude was looking through the blinds and everything. He didn't step not 1 foot outside of that door. As a matter of fact, no. He just opened up his door and he reached over to grab his food. He didn't even step outside to see me until I got back into my car.
So I hop out of the car with his food, and before I even reach his place, this guy's storming towards me like he's on a mission. We meet halfway, I hand over his order, and he snatches it from me like he's in a rush. Then, without warning, he grabs a fry and hurls it at me. Next thing I know, he's gripping my arm like a vise.
I'm fine. Not yet. Like a scary encounter. Yeah, sure, bro. This is
yelling
so terrifying.
About how his fries are cold and I'm going to pay for it. Talk about losing his marbles, right? I'm trying to explain that I drove as fast as I could, but he ain't having it. Just when things are getting intense, one of his neighbors steps in, seeing the commotion. The guy lets go of my arm like nothing happened, and I bolt a few steps away. The neighbor checks in on me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Then I book it back to my car, dialing the cops as I drive off to report the whole crazy incident. Turns out this guy had a rep for pulling this kind of crap, so the cops swooped in and nabbed him. Man, let me tell you, that was one heck of a scare.
This is such a made-up story, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, was like this story AI generated too? Because that was so terrible. That was terrible. What the fuck is that, bro? Like the story about me getting my sucked was better than that.
Definitely not your average delivery run, that's for sure.
Shut the fuck.
All right, so let me tell you about this.
It's just like, bro, bro, they have this generic, like, a creepy story, like, story time YouTubers, right? Like, do you remember, like, back in the day of watching, like, these types of scary stories on YouTube, and watching them now as, like, a fully grown adult, you realize on how cringe this shit is? Like, this is the most cliche thing to do, too.
Wild day I had
like,
when
just
I was
have, like, this
for
filter
DoorDash
on
a few
it.
years back.
With, like, the creepy
I've been
music.
grinding away most of the day, delivering orders left and right. So this one order pops up on my phone, and I'm like, cool, let's do this. Headed to the restaurant, grab the grub, and hit the road.
Grab the grub and hit the road.
Now,
grab the
I'm
grub.
driving along.
Like, bro, who has ever called a grub ever in their life?
Trying to figure out where I'm headed.
Unironically, just calls food
truck
grub.
right behind me. Didn't think much of it at first, you know, lunch rush and all that.
Yeah, so what, you're getting tailgated? Okay.
But then, halfway to the delivery spot, I see the same truck still tailing me.
Yeah.
That's when the alarm bells start ringing in my head. I mean, I'm not Sherlock Holmes or anything, but something just felt off. So, we both rolled.
You did see like that microchip shit that a paralyzed dude had that was implanted inside of his brain. Now, what if I can like put in like my sleep alarm and like just program that like in my head? Like, what would it sound like if like an alarm were to actually go off inside of my head? I think my head would honestly just explode. Never mind. What am I talking about?
The apartment complex, and this guy parks his truck right behind me, taking up 2 spots like he owns the place. I steal a glance at him, and let me tell you, he's not exactly Mr. Clean Cut. Looked like he hadn't seen a shower in weeks. Anyway, I figure I'll just do my thing since I'm right by the customer's door. If things get hairy, I can always yell for help or call the cops. But when I turn around after dropping off the food, this dude's still in his truck, just staring at me like a creep. I hustle back to my car, lock all the doors, and sit there for a minute, hoping he'll take the hint and buzz off. But nope, he's still there, not moving an inch. At that point, I'm like, okay, time to get out of Dodge. So, I start backing up, and guess what? He does the same dang thing. Now, I'm starting to get seriously spooked. I mean...
Okay, wait, so you deliver the food, and then... So he was just following you the whole time? Again, these stories must be AI generated too, because this is terrible.
What's this guy's deal? Is he lost? Stalking me? No idea. But I'm not sticking around to find out.
Okay.
I make a beeline for the police station, with old pickup truck guy hot on my tail the whole way. Pulling into the station's parking lot, I breathe a sigh of relief when he doesn't follow me in, but he just hangs back, staring at me like I'm his next meal or something. I march in...
Like, was that pun intended? Was it? Like, are you seriously making puns, like, in the middle of this spooky-ass story, huh?
inside, spill the beans to the cops, and hope they can make heads or
Spill the beans to the cops. Bro, who the fuck made this?
tails of the situation. Sadly, I didn't catch his license plate, so there's not much they can.
Dude, this story's made up. This is so fucking stupid. I'm done here. I'm not even gonna continue on. So like you drive from like the Dunkin' Donuts, right? You drive all the way there, and then like you started getting tailgated and followed by this weird ass dude like in a truck, right? You pull up to the person's house, and then you deliver the food. They're still there following you as you leaving that person's house, and then you pull up to the police station, and you didn't even bother to even take one good look at their license plate. Bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Alright, here's a crazy one I got to share. So, it all started when my friend and I, both 19-year-old girls, decided to make some extra cash by doing some door dashing.
Young and 19-year-old girls, at least they're not stripping, because that's what I would assume that like some younger 19-year-old girls would start doing together, but whatever. But
At first, we thought it was kinda annoying that our parents made us go together, but looking back, we totally get it. So, you know how DoorDash works, right?
Yes.
You only see the address after you've picked up the food. Anyways, we got this $9 order from Burger King, which isn't much, but hey, it was a slow night, so we went for it. We got the address and started driving. But when we arrived, we realized we were at this really sketchy motel. And to make things even weirder, there's this woman outside who looks like she's waiting for something. We ask her if the food's for her, and she just takes off running. Yeah, that freaked us out a bit. So, we call the customer, and this guy from West Virginia answers. He starts going on about how creepy the place is, and then tries to get us to come to his room to give him the food. Like, seriously? We're not about to do that.
like what? Like was he about to? I mean, like, there's only two of you. He can probably only grab one of you. I mean, so what, like you don't think about carrying like any sort of pepper spray or something, sweetheart? Like what are you doing?
He keeps insisting, saying stuff like, "I'm gay, so it doesn't matter," which makes zero sense.
Okay, yeah. So I think what he's trying to do here, he's trying to make them as comfortable as possible. Okay. That's what he's trying to do here, just so that, they can go up to his room and he can kidnap him.
I'm just like,
that's what I'm assuming.
Sorry, sir, against company policy.
Okay, all right, bro. And it's actually crazy because I didn't even look at the name of this story here. If you look at like the video chapter, the titles here, it says a 19-year-old me almost got kidnapped while door dashing, and this is so predictable. That was way too predictable. I just predicted that. I don't need to go any further than that. Yeah, whatever. They get there. So like they go up to the room, right? They get into a little scuffle. They almost get kidnapped. Blah blah blah. Whatever. They escape with their lives. Whatever. Okay, fellas. So if you learned anything new here, besides the fact that I'm willing to get my dick sucked by any woman that offers it, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe down below, and yeah, stay dangerous.